Folks, hello and welcome to Gamers Health. I am Rach Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. With me, as always, on Saturday nights is my lovely wife, Rach.
Hello.
And of course, it's just kind of like a full head close up. You can see that I have COVID hair. So, Grim, welcome. Appreciate you being here. So, I kind of teased this. We got, it's like a trip. It's like a triple D, but it's not diners, drive-ins, and dives, as you might get with Guy Fieri, right?
What is it? Doctors, diets, and desserts.
Yes, pretty much.
Okay.
and of course, topics and questions that are driven by the live audience.
Yes.
But why doctors? Now, last week we had special guests, Tom and Tammy. It was really great.
Yeah. Thank you for being on with us.
It was a lot of fun to actually have guests that can talk about issues in their life and health and just chew the fat back and forth, right? We have some other potential guests that have committed but not committed to a date, so it's probably not going to happen until after we get back from North Texas. So I would say you're looking mid-June, late June, July. There's never a big schedule. Grim, hello. Hope you are all well this night. We are. Now, just in case the Barshes, Bill or Ben, logged in, I have my red wine. It's a red blend from Apothic, and it's in this solid wine tumbler. And why is that? Because I don't need the Barshes yelling at me for having ice in my red wine. I happen to like my red wine a little bit cooler than a little. I know it's probably just refrigerated, but c'est la vie. That's probably got all the French that I know, so don't even ask me to go further than that.
La vie est belle.
Okay.
Life is beautiful.
All right. See, you don't come here for foreign language.
No.
Certainly not. So, Rach, which part shall we dive into? Because they all kind of.
Oh, whichever one you want to.
Well, I guess. Well, all right. Do you want?
I guess sort of we'll do doctors, then I'll go to the diets, and then to the desserts, so we can end it off on a yummy note.
Okay, so there we go. There is an actual progression
Seems like
to
the
this.
Organization
Okay.
should be that way.
Right. All right. So take it away. And by the way, Tom, thank you.
So speaking of doctors, I went to a weight loss doctor that was connected somehow with my primary care. I kept hearing about this weight loss doctor when I would call in to like get an appointment, confirm an appointment with my primary care. And so, of course I said, so, hey, what's up with this weight loss doctor? Is that they're trying to like get you to have surgery done, or is it a diet plan? What is it? She's like, oh, it's a diet plan. So I said, all right, they don't want to cut me, so I'll go check it out. Yeah, let's make an appointment. And so I did, and he seemed like a nice man. Like he was rooting for people,
generally interested,
and interested in his clients and things. There was a background of like, when you sit in the waiting area, you sort of take things in. So I see like different diet aids like on a shelf, and then the advertising on the TV, but it's like put very low. He didn't try to sell me food or anything.
No, that
nothing. I'm guessing. He'd hook you and then
serve it up,
reel you in, and then there you go. You got to eat this food. So initially he placed me. I went a week and a half ago, and he placed me on a 1,000 calorie diet.
Now,
which basically means that you're basically placing your body to starvation mode.
Right. And as the person that does the majority of the cooking, and by the way, Rachel's done some recent cooking, and oh my God, this lady can cook. Impressive. But I do the majority of the cooking, and I do the majority of the cooking. So I, as the person that's preparing the meals, I obviously want to fall within her range, and it's just like, what am
what
I
are we
going
gonna fucking cook? You know,
Yeah.
that was the whole thing. And then like they give you a paper to, you know, explain like what is a serving. And it wasn't any serving sizes that I'd seen like through Weight Watchers and through other things that I've done over the years, but you know, and it certainly wasn't congruent with what was written on the boxes with cereals or yogurts or whatever. So we're all like really uncomfortable, like trying to work out what's the serving here, what do we do exactly. And so
you started the diet.
I started the diet. I did it for 3 or 4 days, and it was very uncomfortable. I had GI upset. I I had serious like brain fog and like felt very detached and disconnected. I had nightmares.
Not about food, mind you.
No, nothing about the diet, nothing about food, nothing medical. Just, I guess, things related to traumatic things that had happened in my life. So I guess, you know, basically what it was is that I think it activated my sympathetic nervous system, like my fight or flight response, you know, which made it more prone to having the nightmares and stuff like that, and the detachment, and
right,
yeah,
and Rach has had nightmares in the past where I'll hear her, and I just knew she was having nightmares because she'd wake up and be up, and as a spouse, you kind of hear that, feel that, that the person you're next to is their mind is awake, and she'd have a nightmare and not be able to go back to sleep for another hour or two,
right?
You know, and that is an issue. So
yeah, so I also had a friend who expressed a great deal of worry over this, because I thought, oh, this guy wants me on this, because, and I'm also reading on the internet going, they're like, oh, well, doctors prescribe this very sparingly to people who are having like surgical procedures or fertility treatments, that are preparing for bariatric surgery, with, you know,
we did a lot of research
and all that stuff, and then yeah, and like at first I was just thinking, okay, he's prescribing something drastic for a drastic amount of weight, you know. I was like, maybe this is okay. And then, like, you know, as I kept reading and hearing, you know, from my friend, I was like, this shit is not okay. And feeling what I was feeling, it was absolutely not okay.
Right. And
I lost 4 pounds in 4 days, but
and now,
was it worth it? No.
Right. But now, the perspective as the husband, as a significant other involved in this process, my feeling was, and still is that the doctor in question felt that the way that I will hook my patients, make sure they're going to return, is to have them say, oh my God, look at that. In 14 days, I lost 10 pounds. Oh, this is a miracle. And it's not a miracle if your brain can't function properly, and you're probably burning as much muscle as you are fat. And Rach has been doing a great job working out.
Yeah.
And the last thing that
I didn't want to lose my muscles or the fact that I went from a metabolic age of 60 to 57. I was like, oh, I don't want to lose that. You know, I'm fixing things here, you know, but I don't want to lose what's, you know, been helping. So, and then, so I stopped doing that and started to do,
there you go,
something different. We added calories in so that I'd be able to manage. And so I went with this app called Chronometer. It's an app on your phone.
Now, Tammy was asking if you've looked at Noom.
I have not played with that
But she
at
did,
all.
but now the one that Rach is using was recommended by a friend.
Yeah.
And it's a friend that Rach works out with usually twice a week.
Yeah.
So they have a good relationship when it comes
Yeah.
to
And I
health.
guess, that's what she uses, and she's lost a good bit of weight on it. And it's what's nice about it, when I was using Weight Watchers, they didn't really give you much about nutrition. I think they tried. They tried to make it like very engaging for people, but it wasn't very in depth in terms of, hey, you have these nutritional targets to hit, each day, like your calcium, your iron, your vitamin A, B, C, those kinds of things. And so I started to look at that with the chronometer. So I thought that was kind of neat. So that this way it's not really just about I'm just going to take the lightest calorie foods and the most diet driven low cal stuff.
There's a balance to it. So, and
But
I understand the balance.
Yes, but being able to have enough fats, but not too much fat, enough carbs. I haven't been taking my whole daily carbs. The daily fat goes fast. The protein is usually higher. So yeah, but like it's good things. So that's something that I like about it. That it's like the intention of it is like, yes, you want to lose weight, but you have to get these nutrients to make to help your body keep working correctly, and so that you can like continue to build muscle.
So Tammy's like, Noom comes from a psychological approach, and she has friends that have loved it.
Oh,
I'll be honest with you, I had looked at Noom about 2 years ago when I had congestive heart failure, and then I realized there was no way I could do anything that was involved in a program after I already signed up for it. But
it was it's like a Weight Watchers.
It's like an app. It's an app, but it's a whole support system. They used to advertise it on TV.
I used to see that too.
But something that it took me years to realize about Rach, but then I got to learn this about her. She doesn't look like somebody that's going to be data driven, but Rach is very much data driven. I'm surprised that you don't game more, because I know you say you hate numbers, but you understand the relationship of numbers because you've always looked at statistics within your industry, so you can look at numbers.
Oh, right, to be able to like help your to be able to help your bosses understand like the numbers and all the factors at play, and yes, we are making money. Yes, these people are completing treatment goals, things like that, those things that you measure.
So this app
demonstrate your worthiness as a program.
Well, see that listen, I did crime stats for a number of years.
Yeah.
So I understand it too, and I also understand that a lot of times with numbers, it's how you present them.
Yes.
Okay. Which is why something like a program like Weight Watchers simplifies the numbers to a great extent. You got points, but your points, you could game a system that's just pure points.
Oh, that's true. And like the gaming always fucks you in the end, because you will be like, broccoli is free. Certain most vegetables are free on Weight Watchers. Fruits are free, or like you. And when they use that terminology, you're like, oh, it's free. Keep eating some bananas here, and it's, and you're thinking, bananas didn't get me like this, so I'll eat them.
But they could keep you like that.
But they could keep you like this.
Tom, there was a fad 8 years ago about people putting 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter in their hot coffee.
Ew.
To up their fat content because of whatever diet or regime they were on, I tried it and thought, what a waste of good coffee. Yeah.
Maybe like it was a carb thing.
Yeah.
Like the low carb or
keto diet.
Because they always say that this is the diet where they put fat bombs. We don't need fat bombs. We just need like a certain percentage to
So now here's the thing. Now
keep us full.
I'm a type 2 diabetic, so what I'm constantly aware of is my carb intake. And are there meals where I just basically say, fuck it, I'm gonna eat some carbs? Certainly. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. But with Rachel's diet and integrating my diet, we do actually pretty well. Like with the increase in calorie intake. Now you've lost how much now in the last week and a half? 6 pounds? 5.9 pounds.
5.9.
5.9 pounds in the last week and a half. And she just weighed in today and had the further weight loss. And this is since the last weigh-in, with her actually doing a higher calorie diet. But the thing is,
I'm more comfortable.
So now listen, do I pay more attention with her breakfast? Yes. I actually got a new pan I cook both of our eggs in separate pans, and we saw on one of the YouTube channels that we saw, it was the the Ninja.
James, somebody.
Yeah.
James, a product reviewer of I've seen on TV things.
And he
did the review of the
and he
Ninja.
said, a year later, he's still using this pan almost daily. So I was like, all right.
And they always show you they always show them cooking eggs in it, because that's the thing that always has trouble, eggs and shrimps,
right?
That they don't release from the pan easily. But you saw his, I think, and said, "Oh my God, we need that."
I said, "I'll give it a try."
She doesn't want to because I don't want to put the oil.
Right. So I can take literally that third of a second of spray of olive oil or avocado oil. And that third of a second spray doesn't work on another pan. On this pan, I put the turkey sausage in. I put sliced mushrooms. I've added sliced mushrooms in for Rach now. I hate mushrooms, but it's her own pan. She can have what she wants. Peppers and onions, and now I can cook all that stuff up. And then before I put the eggs in, I used to get lazy and I just pour the eggs in over the vegetables, just take out the meat. Now I take it all out, pour the eggs in. And this new pan,
I mean, it's fine to do it that way.
But with this new pan, like with my pan for my eggs, and my pan works pretty well. I gotta loosen the eggs up just a little bit, and then I flip them. With hers, I just shake the pan back and forth, and the eggs are already moving, and they're the size of the pan. So
and it's so easy to clean.
Yes. So this is for me as the person that cooks the breakfast and most of the other meals. This is awesome. Actually, I want to get another pan for myself, and then because it cuts down on the oil because when you are following a diet that has a limited amount of fat, a limited calorie intake is not really the big worry in this case. It's keeping your fat, protein, and carb ratio in balance. I'm finding that I can use much less oil on her foods and on cooking her breakfast than I am on mine. Now, I'm on a keto-ish diet. It's a low-carb diet, so fats aren't as big an issue, but if I can cut out the fat, even olive oil, great. Now, when it comes to eating out, right? That's always an issue. Okay, there's nothing quite like going down to our local pub. Rach, and I'm God blessing her. She'll go down to the pub. She no longer has her Mick Ultra. She's having her Diet Coke, but she'll have a nice salad, but she'll bring her own dressing. And that's what, Skinny Girl.
Yeah,
because Skinny Girls are usually anywhere from 5 to 10 calories a serving, and even if you're using say 2 serving, it's not that bad. So grim. I like butter and coffee myself. My daddy always did that, so I did.
Oh, wow.
Just to make coffee a bit milder, because he drank 1920s PI black horror coffee.
Oh, so it takes out some of the acidity of the coffee? I guess so. Oh.
True confession, I have had 2 cups of coffee in my life. One, both times working as a cop. Once was at the at a Mets game at the old Shea Stadium, and it was a miserable, wet, damp, cold day in the upper 40s. No matter what you do, you couldn't get warm, and I needed to warm up, so went to one of the concession stands, and they had no tea, they had no hot chocolate. all they had was coffee. And I had a coffee with a lot of milk, and it still tasted like shit, but I drank it. And another time, again, about maybe same time frame, late 90s, early aughts. Again, as a cop, arrived. I had to take a report at somebody's house. It was an older woman in the South Bronx, and
Aw.
she insisted on making us coffee.
Mhm.
And I had to drink a half a cup of coffee just to be polite. And that tasted better than the other coffee, but
I'm
neither
sure.
one really tasted all that good. So that's good.
Yeah, it's very. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I will occasionally drink it outside the house, and in some situations where it's like, I'm kind of the decoy.
Mhm. Yeah, I got you. I know.
John's house.
Yeah, it's like because when she's I'm making the equivalent of an Irish coffee
Like,
for
oh, come on,
somebody.
can't you have coffee? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure. These.
Raspberry vodka and somebody's Pepsi. Just saying, it's a possibility. David, I get chewed out regularly by my diabetes nurse, but chocolate is the only thing in life that gives me pleasure these days.
Aww.
I am not a chocolate addict, but my God, there are some times I don't like peanut butter, but we got these Reese's peanut butter cups that
They're
are
very nice.
no sugar, and these are minis, and I find them to be immensely enjoyable.
But you have to be really, really careful with them
Erythritol,
because the sugar
GI
alcohol that's
issues.
in it will really tell your stomach
Yeah, you
if you're sensitive to sugar alcohol.
Yeah, it might turn into a liquid diet. But David, I don't know if Lily's is a brand that you can find out by you in the UK, but Lily's does make some very low carb chocolate that is spot on. It doesn't.
Oh man, you got to try this. It's salted caramel infused into the chocolate. It's these flavors infused into the chocolate, and it's so nice. And it's low carb and sugar free. So
yeah. Tom, working night shift to get through college, I used to drink 2 10-cup pots worth of coffee per day. And I was
wow.
gaining weight, so I decided to cut the 3 sugars and 2 creamers out of my coffee.
Because you can't get it in without those sugars and creamers.
Now, admittedly,
and I don't like making it here in the house because the appliance that you would make it with, it's gonna have
right.
It's so infused with the smell.
We use our Keurig for tea.
Yeah, we just draw water out of it.
Or we have,
and then we still have tea pods.
Or we have Irish and English Twinings breakfast teas to last us a lifetime. As long as I have electricity, I'll be in tea.
I think we probably have some more chai up in the top.
We might have to do a true honest to God search, Rach.
Okay.
Yes, but and here's the thing: like when I was working midnights as a sergeant, my last 6 months, I would make at least two, sometimes 3, 22-ounce cups of tea with creamer, usually one creamer and Splenda. So I wasn't putting sugar in it, at least for that. But I was pounding much more caffeine than I do these days. Now if I'm doing caffeine, I'm gonna guess
I'm pounding more now than
But if I was,
it's probably on par with the past when I was working.
Right. So these Vita Energy mints.
Or maybe not. I'm not doing it every day.
Yeah, these mints are 2 mints is equal to generally 1 cup of black coffee and caffeine. So I find myself there are days where I'll have 6, 8 mints. I'm certainly not saying I'm
yeah. Oh, here's something else about like change in diet, like because I felt so horribly when my calories were so heavily restricted. I don't want to waste the calories that I do have on alcohol. And I know that if I have one single drink when I walk into the pub, it's going to be done. I'm going to have like 3, 4. Because we have a very nice community there that likes to, it's a rounds culture.
Right.
And so this one will buy, and then that one will buy. Then
had
you
that.
buy back, and then the bartender buys back, and it's like,
You're
I
like,
was like, I can't even start
can
it.
I
I can't.
can I take a rain check on this, please? That was like, it was like Thursday. It's like,
Well, they just keep refilling the
yeah, but
the Diet Coke.
Rach, God bless her, has become a cheap date.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I haven't had anything to drink in a week and a half.
Right. So now, what Rach has in her glass right now actually
This is hop tea. This is the green tea one.
And
I think it's Citra hops or something.
I gotta say, as a beer drinker, this tastes better than, I don't know, half the beers I've tried.
Yeah.
And better than any of the light beers I've tried, except for perhaps was it Light Sky, the Blue Moon light beer?
Mm-hmm.
And that's saying a lot. So, and it's got 0 carbs, and it has it's got caffeine, but it's got no alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you've got to go alcohol free or low carb, there's certainly a lot of options there. So, just catching up here. Tea is good today. It's grim. I can't hardly drink caffeine. It nukes me at night. Bad. And I love Mountain Dew.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Mountain Dew Code Red, right? Or Mountain Dew.
No, the yellow.
Well,
or the blue and the Baja Blast out at Taco Bell. And I think they had Diet the last time we went in the place.
And but they have the kickstarts, right? The Mountain Dew kickstarts, black cherry. Oh my God, caffeine and less sugar. Now it's not a perfect diabetic drink, but it's got less sugar. So it's my occasional guilty pleasure, But catching up here, years of night shift means I can drink coffee and go to bed. Thomas, you know what? Rachel will be surprised at me because when she was drinking herbal teas at night, on the cold nights, I was making my Irish breakfast or my English breakfast.
Yeah.
And usually making a large 16 or 18 ounce glass because caffeine doesn't generally keep me up at night.
Well, there's something too about the warm.
Yes.
The warm thing going down is very soothing, and that can, help you go off to sleep. But,
Grim, sounds like you guys are doing awesome sticking to your diet. Good for you. It's hard. Listen, Rach is doing a better job than me. Okay. But she's inspiring me because I'll watch what Rachel is doing with her eating habits and be like, oh, so I guess I don't really need to go crazy with this. Now, we're going to touch on something that is kind of diet and it doesn't have to be diet related. Definitely dessert.
Yeah, you can do what you want with it.
It's definitely dessert.
It's all about the intention.
Right. It's definitely dessert related. And it was something that we had seen, we saw product reviews, people that we watch.
And we're like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Right. And
they're like, oh, we don't have a place to put it at,
Yeah. And so what happened was we happened to like Ninja devices. Yeah. Ninja devices, we have, was it a countertop oven from Ninja that is awesome.
And it does everything.
It does.
It's an air fryer.
Yeah.
It's a toaster oven.
It's a broiler.
Yeah. A regular oven.
Yeah. It does everything. So literally our stovetop we use almost every morning. But
I don't remember the last time we turned on the stove.
The actual oven part of the stove.
There you go. The inside.
Right, because we got the Ninja
Foodie
right before COVID.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of work out of it. So we saw the Ninja Creamy, and I was like, oh well, do we really need an ice cream maker? We buy our low carb ice cream. We were Amazon Fresh, and I still have some in the freezer. Months after we started going to the local grocery again. So it's like, do we really need to get this? And then, lo and behold, one day on Woot. Now, listen, Woot.com. I've been going to Woot for like 20 years, or since before it was an Amazon company, and I think we might still have the black and white programmable robot in the closet that I won early on, but
I don't think he is in that closet.
Well, if he isn't, then we chucked him. But
okay,
but it
think he go.
But I
He
used
left the building.
to play with him in my work office. That was
Really?
Oh yeah. And we used to throw we used to have slingshot root monkeys that we'd have fights with until we hit the chief when he came in.
Oh, nice.
He opened up the door and a root monkey went flying right by his head. It landed on his shoulder. After it hit off the door, he's like, I'm going to close the door and come back in 2 seconds. It's like, because the root monkeys would scream. They would have the screaming monkeys with slingshot arms. Don't even. Yes.
Yeah, you'd slingshot it there, it hit somebody like.
This was the NYPD. So, in any case, we saw the creamy advertised, and was like, I was like, finally, oh, look, it's on Woot. Rach, it's on Woot. It's like it's a refurb, but it's like I don't know, like 120. Was it 109?
I think so.
It was
or 117 something.
Yeah, it was damn cheap. Normally now
Deep
it only came with 1 cup, not the 3. It didn't come with the recipe book. And
they cheated us out of the lid.
They cheated us out of the lid, but we got it. And really, what it comes down to is you can do pretty much anything you want, but anything you want to prepare, you have to get something ready at least 24 hours in advance.
Right. You have to. There's some element of planning with it.
Right. Oh, Jolt Cola. Oh my God.
Whoa, I remember that.
when I had papers to do in college, it was either one of 2 things. Depending on how late I had to burn the midnight oil. If it was an all-nighter, it was Jolt Cola. If it was only about 2 a.m., a 6-pack of Coronas. Because the one liquored me up enough that I didn't care if there were typos and I could just pound my way through it. Oh, I didn't write a rough draft. I didn't write a draft. I went right to the typewriter and typed everything out, and God willing, it better be good. But so we got the creamy, and it's like, all right, well, what do we have? I go, you have some frozen blueberries. You know what? We'll put some frozen blueberries into this cup because you got to freeze them for 24 hours, but it has to be a solid mass. So a little water, a squirt of stevia. You put the 2 in, let them sit for 24 hours. Took them out consecutive nights. And oh my God! So the calories in the serving size that we were dealing with was probably about, I don't know, 60 calories.
Yeah, it was tiny.
But you know what? Didn't spike my blood sugar. Why? Probably because it's natural sugars with the fibers from the fruit. It was spot on. So tonight, after we do this show, we are going to cut up some fresh strawberries.
And to mush some pineapples into there, and maybe we'll use the coconut water from the other
to fill it out. We use tap water. It was delicious.
We'll look at the label and make sure it's okay for you.
Yeah, but it was.
Or we'll do one and then the other with like.
Yeah, we'll probably do
syrup or something.
It was delicious and relatively low in carb. Low impact on my glycemic numbers, my blood sugar numbers. So spot on. Now you can also make ice cream with this, but again, you got to prep it before. Now, if we're going to make ice cream, we're going to probably use some heavy cream, use some milk, use stevia or some other low glycemic or no calorie sweetener. Could use some fruit to flavor it. But we're going to know what we put into it, right? When you get pretty much any ice cream, but especially if you're going for low-carb ice creams, there's a lot of shit in there where you're looking at the ingredients.
Right, that your body is not going to recognize, and it's just going to be stored as like white fat, not the good fat.
Right, so it's like, why if you have an opportunity to make stuff that's going to taste really good, and all the reviews, we've seen people like literally be shocked at how good the stuff makes, and it's going to be fresh, as opposed to something that was mass made. I think I'll go with this, and this way again, I can control and go. All right, well, I know from my perspective as a type 2 diabetic, I can control the sugars I'm putting into me. Because I know the ingredients I'm putting into this, right, and that's important. So again, right now, we've only made the blueberry sorbet. We made that 2 nights in a row. Tonight, we're going to prep for tomorrow night because you have to freeze it for 24 hours. And I believe it's got to be in a temperature range of 7 degrees to -9, or maybe it was 9 degrees to -7. It's got to be pretty cold until we have to leave it for 24 hours because the creamy has this metal paddle that literally scrapes it all. And sometimes you have to what they call respin. If it comes out too crumbly,
and not
you respin
creamy.
it and it'll, I guess,
Mhm.
masticate it more. James has been cutting back on the code red for some reason, less soda resulting in less weight. Who would have thunk it? Yeah, no, dude. And honestly, all right, so
Yeah, the whole drinking calories thing is kind of
I mean,
laid out.
yeah,
For me.
I'm looking at my watch and I think I lost track, but I think we're about the 2-year anniversary of me getting hospitalized at St. Francis Hospital for congestive heart failure. And
Oh, I think we passed it.
that's what I'm saying. I think,
Yeah.
yeah. And what was interesting is that the dietitian came when I was there, and he didn't talk. He wasn't going to give me this huge speech about my blood sugar, but he did say, he goes, for your options, you can choose a diet soda, and you could get like diet ginger ale. It was like 8 ounces. He goes, but I prefer if you would take something like unsweetened iced tea. I go, really? He goes, yeah, because
it's more natural.
it's more natural. And he goes, these aren't natural sweeteners that they generally put into diet sodas. These are unnatural. Even
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like the coconut water, because
Uh-huh.
that also has certain nutrients and
Right.
stuff.
But like Splenda tastes like sugar because it's made from sugar. It is not natural. All right.
Right.
Stevia is natural. It comes from a plant. Okay. So that's your body doesn't react to it in the same way. Your body reacts to most man-made sugars.
Where does allulose come from? Is that a man-made thing too?
I don't believe so. I believe it's
Or is that a naturally occurring thing?
I believe it's a naturally occurring thing. You got monk fruit.
Yeah, the monk fruit. Is it monk fruit syrup?
No, usually
or extra.
Usually monk fruit is a powder,
Oh.
but I'm sure it's usually made with other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I hear our kitty swirling around in her box, her wicker box. Our cat has found these 2 stacked wicker boxes with had a shirt draped over it, and now for the last couple of days, she can't stop being there. She's like, "This is it." Yeah, soda's it's a real fat builder for me, Grim.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I will say, I will like today. We true confession. All right, we got the best of the worst. Right, like the best choice out of a series of bad choices. Right? Would you say Chick-fil-A? We could have gotten worse fast food.
Oh yeah.
Or for dinner. Now, again, breakfast was omelets, and I make the omelets with 1 egg and 2 to 3 servings of egg whites for each of us. So at least you get a little bit of that yolk while still not having all the fat. Onions and peppers for me, mushrooms, onions, and peppers for Rach, plus salsa, plus sprinkling of cheese, and I course the turkey sausage on the side. So that's it's a filling breakfast. It makes you feel like you ate something, and it's low carb, and well, it's healthy ingredients. Lunch we did a salad with I guess roast chicken with taco flavoring on it.
Yeah. A couple of ounces each of that.
Yeah. So we ate, but then for dinner it was raining. I didn't feel like prepping a third meal, and I was like, all right, Uber's giving us a 40% discount today. What are we going for? Again,
grilled chicken.
Yeah, I didn't go grilled chicken. I went spicy breaded. So I didn't make the healthiest choice.
Yeah, I did the grilled chicken, and because I needed carbs, so I had the multi-grain brioche.
Yes, you did very well with that.
However, we got a big fries and split it.
Yes, we always split our fries now.
But I didn't blow anything out. I didn't blow out any of my ratio.
Yeah. I mean, before we got onto this and started doing this show, my blood sugar was just about 200, which isn't horrible for what I ate.
Oh, nice.
Now it's down to 174. So, and according to this, I peaked just under 200. So it didn't stay at 200 for longer than 10 minutes, which is good to know. But generally, I like to keep within that range of under 180 because when you spike above 180 for a significant point of time, that's where you're looking at issues. And this time last year, I had issues.
Mm-hmm.
My blood sugar was out of control. I had congestive heart failure. I was not eating well at all because my way of dealing with my health issues was let me just drown myself in happy foods.
I don't think there's much of a difference between the ice cream and the custard. I think they're both like very like. I guess the custard is more egg based.
I think custard has eggs in it. I don't
The
think
ice cream might not have the eggs in it. It's
yeah.
more heavy cream or whatever.
Yeah. I believe that you are right, but don't quote me 100% on this. I don't want to give misinformation out on what's in custard. Tom, I avoid artificial sweeteners and high fructose corn syrup and stick to natural sugars and small amounts of white sugar. Forces me to eat stuff made from scratch. Food tastes better, and it does. Okay, honestly, I have learned over the last 2 years to be a much better cook. I'm not saying chef, all right, but a much better cook than I ever had been. And for a while, we were doing home chef for meals 3 days a week for us, which taught me a lot of.
Nice.
They were very nice, and it taught me a lot of skills.
Yeah,
a lot of prep skills, but it also taught me how to substitute, especially a lot of times for their included spice and flavoring ingredients, because almost every time you get a commercial product, if you're not looking at it, and it's like, oh, look, it's garlic salt, right? How often do you get garlic powder, onion salt? You're getting taco flavoring, and it's full of salt. Salt is a flavor enhancer. Salt brings out other flavors, and it's a cheap way to do it than having regular, unadulterated flavoring in it. So I have invested in a huge collection of spices that are low to no sodium. So I could take my finger and go, oh, okay, this. What do I need? What am I gonna? Where do I find this? What comes close on my collection? And I could make a substitute that was low sodium because I have high blood pressure. Rach has high blood pressure, so we also have to worry about sodium. Now, when I was first getting out of the hospital end of last May, not last May, 2 years ago, my cardiologist was like, "Oh, you got to keep your sodium between 1,200 and 1,500." And then 3 months later, it was like, you know what? You've been doing very well, and your pressure is very controlled. You could keep it between 15 and 2,000. Well, you know what? Just like a 1,000 calorie diet is very hard to stay under because the restrictions are huge. Going from 12 to 15 to 2,000 opened up the world to me, not just because I was flavored.
Choose salt or anything like that.
I don't have salt in my kitchen.
Yeah, we don't.
Actually, we
do.
We have one little shaker of the Himalayan salt.
No, we have the green salt. That's a lower sodium salt.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's above the.
I thought we got some kind of.
Maybe we did recently, but for a long time we did.
Himalayan salt. The pink one.
Tom said during his 3.5 days, D&D 3.5 days, by the way, he switched to carbonated water.
Oh yeah.
I'd be honest with you.
We have bottles of it saved up next door.
We got our cylinders, right?
Oh yeah, we did get our cylinders.
So we can make the soda stream again.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, Tom, I can't drink.
Oh, hey, we can have like soda stream lemon water.
Oh geez. So another thing that we've been doing is having lemon water, but it's almost like fresh squeezed lemonade.
I look so forward to this.
So it's an extra process in the morning because after I make all the food, now I got to step to the
I don't mind
front.
making it, but it's always like, well, I don't want to be in the way, you know.
So I have to, and we got a bunch. Lemons are expensive at a local supermarket, but at Costco you can get like, I don't know,
a massive bag,
like a dozen and a half.
For a couple weeks.
Well, they won't last that long. So you got something that can last like a week and a half for like, I don't know, $7, $6.
Dang, we'll have to go back there.
Yeah, but
because those Stop & Shop ones,
we got
tiny and expensive.
Yeah, and I mean, theoretically, the ones we have now, I could use half a lemon for each of us. You've been getting a full lemon. But that and a small squirt of Splenda, and it's like having fresh squeezed lemonade. And
Yeah, and when we go back to Costco, maybe we can get not lemon. Well, yes, lemon, but watermelon, so that we can make watermelon ices.
see, Rach is all about the ices, and all about the sorbets. And here's the thing: we live fairly close, like short driving distance, maybe 10 minutes away from the quote world famous lemon ice King of Corona. They probably make some of the best ices ever. Although their blueberry changed, and it was very tasty, but like a couple of years ago, you get that blueberry, and that blueberry icy was mostly white with little streaks of blue and actual blueberries in it.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just blue.
I remember that actually.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still using real fruit for their fruit flavors, but it was certainly a highlight. But
I mean, the raspberry one was good, but I don't quite know how natural. They're all sugary.
Yeah. By the way, folks, allergies are the pits here in New York City.
That they are.
I really can't stress that enough. Oh, and as an aside, for those who may have watched or didn't watch the live stream yesterday, there were 5 of us on that live stream, and 3 people are currently positive tested for COVID. It's not me. I'm not one of them. But you were playing COVID bingo. You could have closed out 3 squares in your card. So COVID,
we already had it. So
Rob Conley, this is his second bout.
Oh God.
This is round 2. So but take your precautions. Eat healthy. Live healthy.
Try to decrease
Try to
decrease the weight. That's always.
I mean,
it's not you don't think the best things, and you're like, obese and going, oh damn, I have COVID.
Yeah,
COVID comes for the obese people. Look out.
So it's just you're not always going to make the best choice, okay? But you should make a better choice than other choices you could make. Right? I think something that anybody who's on a diet or trying to increase their exercise routine or whatever, maybe trying to be more creative, right? And you're like, oh, I didn't do this. Focus on what you can. Like, all right, you know what? I love my white rice with my beef and broccoli. All right, well, when you go to the restaurant, just have half the rice. Is it a good choice? I don't know if it's a good choice, but it's a better choice than having all that rice, especially if you're a type 2 diabetic, right? So there's always a choice that you can make, and at least you don't have to go, oh, well, it was my cheat day. I can eat whatever you want. I still, Rach, you know me, I don't believe in cheat days.
No.
I mean, maybe if...
You know what it is, then you have to keep this in your mind. Like, anytime I go to the bar, I can have a drink. I can. But what's more important right now? Like, do I want to make sure that I get the nutrients that I need to, like, keep with my goal?
Right.
Or... because it's right there and I can do it. I don't have a problem otherwise, just the same way as, crappy food like Doritos. That shit's always there. We can go to Stop and Shop. We can walk into the corner store and, be able to get this. But there's a reason why we don't.
Right. So James Seymour, another odd thing, feeling better about myself after dropping just 10 pounds.
Yeah.
245. Good. Listen, my thing is I have to weigh myself on a daily basis because if you have a strange uptick in weight, it might be a sign of congestive heart failure rearing its ugly head.
Mm-hmm.
But I was down. I was hospitalized. I went in like weighing 293. I left weighing 233. A lot of water weight, but also 2 weeks of healthy eating brought my weight down too.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got down to 213. That and that was another 20 pounds over the next 3 months. But then I had my third hospitalization of the year when I had gastrointestinal issues and high blood sugar and low blood pressure and dehydration. And then my weight has gone up since then, and it has gone up, and now it seems to have plateaued, where it stays around 230, 233. I'd like to see it get back down to about 220, 223. Why? Well, because when I graduated the police academy back in, holy shit, 1997, I came out of the academy weighing 223, and that was when I was in my best health. So I would love to see myself get back to that weight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what will probably get me there? This lady, because she's my inspiration. And as she loses weight, it's just going to encourage me more to do things to keep up with her. Again, the hardest thing to do is to take this path on your own.
Yes.
It is hard. And I know that they say, and I'm a religious person. I have my faith, and they say that even when you're walking on a path, God is always with you, and that's great. But God isn't always a vocal supporter or encourager. He's more of that silent friend. Okay, and it's great to have the spiritual support. Sometimes you just need moral support, and
sometimes you need somebody to just say, "Hey, this is what it is."
Right. I mean, when I go, hey, and folks, don't be offended. I'm not saying that Rach will probably smack me. But I say, hey, Rach, your ass is looking good. It's like I can, or your arms are getting defined.
Right.
This is all stuff that I can see stuff because this is my wife and I'm married to her that are changing because of the exercise that she's doing and the diet changes that she's doing, and that encourages me. So. It's just I think the worst thing that you can do, and I know that they always want you to do this when you start a diet. What's your goal?
That has always been the problem for me, and my goal was always to be more comfortable. Oh well, what's a good weight? I've never known what a good weight is. I've been overweight to varying degrees, not crazy like during my adolescence, but enough that I never got in touch with what is my good weight, where do I feel good at. So when the doctor asked me, oh, what's your goal, what do you want to weigh, I was like, I don't know. It's always shitty when people ask me that, because I can not tell them. I don't know what a normal weight is for someone my size. I can read it on on the web or whatever, but internalizing it and understanding what that means in my body,
right,
I don't have a concept. So it's just to be more comfortable and to be more confident in my movements and to be able to control my body muscles and things like that, and where I'm moving different things. So that's the thing.
Yeah. And Grim, you're right. It's great to have help from my wife. It's a great blessing. When I got out of the hospital 2 years ago from my congestive heart failure, after my 4 stents, after losing, honestly, 60 pounds over the course of 2 weeks in the hospital, I came home to a kitchen that was not recognizable to me because all those comfort snacks were gone.
Yep.
Everything gone. It's like where's my chips?
Yeah,
where's
it
my
either went to
candies?
your sister or it
Went to the garbage.
Went to the garbage.
Yeah,
because she doesn't really like. I think they occasionally have it, but she doesn't like keeping that in the house.
Yeah, so that's was the support that I had coming back.
I was like, all right, this has more than this many milligrams of sodium. Away it goes.
So of course,
so we had all this stuff because Eric's somebody. We are people. We tend to order more than we need, and it'll just keep coming. And so we have these boxes of soup
Oh God.
Yeah. And they were really nice and they were pretty like deluxe and stuff. And I was like, all right, no, we can't have this. It's got too much sodium.
Yep.
So Natalie, here you go.
And that's the thing. So again, we have adjusted our eating habits over the last 2 years. My blood sugar numbers are much better than they have been. Are they as perfect as I would like them? No, but they're much better than.
Is it getting closer? Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes, and is it a daily struggle? Often.
yeah.
I mean, I do find, thankfully, that a glass or two of red wine will bring my blood sugar down. Now they also have low carb, low sugar wines.
Right. There was Pure, and then there was Life Vines.
Yes.
And I don't think I know of another one.
So, by the way, Tammy has something very nice to say. You both are so inspirational. All things come to a stop at our home tonight because you two are on.
Oh.
Thank you, but honestly, like we've said in the past, and I'll say it again. I mean, when I was hospitalized, and when it was the second hospitalization of the year of somebody who was never going to hospitalize in their adult life, I realized that I had to make a great amount of changes in my life in order to continue with my life. All right. And I also realized I never wanted to lose this woman. And the easiest way to lose this woman is to allow myself to be lost. So I wasn't going to let that to happen. All right. But at the same time, and I guess this is because in my last 10, 12 years, I've had a voice on the internet, whether it was on a blog or as a podcaster. I felt that if I'm going to do this, if this struggle is going to be real, I have to allow it to be public. All right. There are times when Rachel's like, "What are you talking about?" Not with this cast, that she's changed, but there were times that she's like, "Why did you bring up whatever?" It's like, well, because I'm trying to be honest with people that read my blog, and
I
they
think
should
maybe
know.
Maybe more like diarrhea thing.
Oh, all right. Well, but it was other stuff, Rach. It was other stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Other life events, and it was like, isn't that kind of personal? It's like, well, it is, but people have to realize that they're not the only ones going through stuff like this. And I think that when I went through Hodgkin's, that's about 16 years ago, that was a very personalized event, and I did not share it. I did not have Facebook. I did not have the internet. I wasn't doing blogs.
Well, then you were a different person then.
I was a different person, but I wasn't this open.
Yes. And it's different because like when you're in your career, you can't necessarily be that open.
Yeah. But I was. I think.
God forbid your patients or your perps.
Well, yeah, that's
stalk you or whatever.
Oh, that's the reason why I was Rach Tenkar online as my my pen name on the blog, and then even when I was podcasting, because I was still working, because Stina, there was just when you're supposed to be working for the government, to have those two worlds intermingle was hard or dangerous. But here's the thing. This journey, if it's my journey alone, or if it's just me and Rach, then we're not really doing anything besides just for us. But if we share the journey, okay, if we talk about it and let folks know, listen, you're not in this on your own. This isn't a solo mission. It's not you're not playing a game solo. You are with everybody else, and yes, others are going through similar, or others have gone through hardships and health scares, and this is what they're doing. And yes, other people fail, other people fuck up. It's one thing. My opinion, it's always been, it's one thing to fuck up, it's another one to fuck up and deny you fuck up. Okay, I will embrace my fuck ups. I will effectively fall on the sword. I will say I fucked up, because that's the only way you're going to learn. Okay? This is all a learning process. And our son, Chris, because he's certainly, Chris, if you're watching, this is certainly your parents here. He might be watching. He knows we're doing this. But here's the thing. Chris is an experiential learner. He needs to learn it by doing. And he needs to make his own mistakes.
Mhm.
Not everybody's like that. And if you can see us, see me, see Rach.
It doesn't mean it's not worth the effort or
Right.
worth the, expenditure of energy to like tell him, educate him, help him understand what your experience was. Because you don't want to give up on the fact that maybe he can do that.
Right.
So you always do that, but then you respect when they don't. Not
Right.
like you never listen. Like how often our mothers did. Like you asked me for advice. I'm not going to give you advice ever again because you didn't follow what I said, and you should have just followed. You should have just did what I said. And it doesn't really work like that.
Right. So, but some people, and this is not always me. Sometimes I need to bang my head into the wall myself, or into the low-hanging doorway and learn my own lesson. But I can also learn lessons from others. And my goal when I was a cop, I came on the job. I had one honest to God goal. I was like, if I can change one life in 20 years, no matter what else I do, no matter what else I accomplish, if I can change one life, I know I lived a good 20 years. Well, I know I changed one life. Found it out in my first 5 years. Maybe I changed a life or two over my next 15. But if doing something like this, get Gamers Health, can help one person that watches, inspire them to take action that will, in the end, add 5 to 10 years to their life, right? Or make their current life easier, although the initial struggle makes it harder, right? Because there's no such thing as a free lunch in life. Sure, you have it in school sometimes, but in life, you've pretty much got to earn stuff. And for some people, that's easier than others. Sometimes the deck is stacked against you, but you still have to try. And even trying, if you don't get that gold ring in the first time around the merry-go-round, which for much of us, that's a memory that never existed.
Mm-hmm.
It only exists to me because I had a judge tell me that he was giving me one more chance to get the golden ring as my went around the merry-go-round in my testimony. And I was like, Your Honor, I have no idea what you're looking for. So that's something from, I think, my parents' generation.
Oh, that's interesting.
But if you can encourage people, if you can inspire people, and that's what this is there for. Really, I just don't do this because I like to hear myself talk. I think I have the most horrible voice. If I hear myself played back on one of these videos, I'm like, oh my God, who the living F wants to listen to that person talk? And I think a lot of us have that opinion about our voices.
Well, because it sounds so different coming from outside of us.
Yeah.
Like usually it sounds like, not until like later in my adult life did it sound different. Like I was always like amazed at how high pitched I felt like it sounded, because it sounds deeper when it's coming through bone.
Right.
And so like I was kind of surprised, like when like I'd hear like myself, like when we take videos of Shannon, be like, oh my God, my voice is actually getting pretty decent.
James, every time Eric says, here's the thing, I think Ross Perot, here's the deal. Here's the thing.
Here's the deal.
He was.
Is he wagging?
We got wag. You got to get that, you got to get that nose going. But he was the last viable, and I'm not trying to be political, but he was the last viable third-party candidate we had.
Yeah, he was the Independence Party.
Yeah, and I personally believe that we need a viable third party. There. That's my political speech for today.
It's all good.
It's all good.
It's out there now.
It's out there. Oh my God, Tenkar's one of those third-party people. Oh,
He's
God.
a radical.
I'm trying to catch up here. Tammy Grimm, yes, I was a gamer in college D&D back in the 90s, and now she married Mr. Star Frontiers. So, of course, that and Wings of Glory. Okay, I think, look at that. And we have somebody else, Hori, or Hor, in the room. Welcome, Hore.
Hooray?
Hooray. Hork. There we go.
Oh, it's
Never
a
mind.
hork.
Hork.
Okay.
Listen. I'm not wearing my glasses. Maybe I should. All right. Hold on a second.
Yeah, it's a hork.
Oh, it's a hork. Of course. See. Oh yeah. See, if I was wearing my glasses, I would have seen that. I just. Now, in all honesty, when Rach and I watch TV on our 65-inch, I don't wear my glasses because unless I'm watching like an action movie, like a Marvel movie, then I want to see every.
Oh,
little
you do
frickin-
wear. Oh, because you think the Easter eggs you might miss. Them.
Yeah.
I never got those Easter eggs. The people do the videos and they tell you about it. I'm like, really?
I didn't.
Oh,
I
it's
miss.
bigger than that.
I missed that piece. I had no.
I
clue.
sat here and saw it. I remember it. I put that together.
You know,
Mhm.
listen. A lot of the Easter eggs. The problem is most of the Easter eggs when it comes to I don't know, very few fantasy movies, but like the science fiction or the superhero movies. I was in the Marvels fan as a kid. I know that's going to scare people. I was a DC fan. Green Lantern was my hero. Wanted that magic ring.
I never heard of this until I came here.
Yeah. She married me, and it's like, oh, now I gotta.
Yeah, we had to watch the Marvel movies. We're like, oh, okay.
Now I gotta be a nerd like the rest of you.
Yeah.
You embrace it though now.
Yeah.
It's good. But and maybe I'm gonna tangent onto this for a minute or two. But when you find that person in your life that completes you, Rach does not conform to any of my preconceived notions of what I expected in the person. I never dated blondes. You can't get more blonde than Rach.
Mm-mm.
I was like, oh, jeez. The only thing that was consistent is Rach is 4 years younger than me.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, no, for some
That's
reason.
a consistent.
That's a consistent thing.
Oh, I found a diet.
Well, yeah, your foot lifts everything. I don't think they need this. It wasn't her hand, folks. It was her foot, and it was a D20.
It's good for you to play with your toes and lift things from the floor. Like, it helps with your foot mobility.
Uh-huh.
So,
Oh, Hork is Yajin's new tag.
Oh.
Yajin, welcome back.
Cool.
I had no idea, and I'm sorry I called you a whore. It wasn't meant to be. I just couldn't read. It's why I've got the glasses on now. Oh God, I'm catching up here. Yes, I wish I could game with my son. My son had never had any interest in my gaming. He was like, "This isn't graphical," because I was always doing VTTs.
Oh, because he's into the graphic stuff and he's into the flight simulators or the train.
Yes.
Train simulator. Yeah.
So this stuff was never graphical enough for him. I'd be playing on Fantasy Grounds.
It's not reality. No, it's not reality.
So he never saw.
Yeah, I remember our dates sometimes. I'd come here and it'd be like, you have to come and see me play. 15, 16, we're like, you have to see me play Call of Duty. You'd see me kill these ones and those ones. Like, okay. Because I haven't been able to get out of boot camp. I'll live vicariously through you.
Oh, God.
They keep telling me I'm dumber than my brother, and then I turn it off.
Shit.
So I couldn't make it the thing right to hold the gun and do what I was supposed to do in there.
Rach, you're legally blind. I mean, I think you have an excuse.
Yeah.
James, I still seek the woman who's crazy enough to put up with me. Yet sane enough for me to put up with her. I think that was probably what made Rach so special. Because she is crazy enough to put up with me. There are days where I'm like, why? Why is Rach here? I mean, she could have done much better. Well, all right. Possibly have done somewhat better. Listen, there's a potential out there somewhere. But she instead chose me. All right? So, and I don't think I am the most sane individual. She met the most practical, romantic individual I think God has placed, at least on the East Coast, So it's like, oh, that's
Mhm.
that's a great, that's a beautiful stone that you found on the internet. All right, I had to pick up my own setting. Well, yes, but I want you to be happy with it, and I want the best stone for the best value.
Yeah. Oh, we do.
Yeah, it was.
Got it good.
She knew I had my quirks,
Yeah.
so she did very well with that, and I'm very happy.
And I still get a lot of compliments on it.
There you go. Tammy, Tom and I complete each other. The hand of God was definitely putting us together.
Mhm.
We are constantly saying how you both compliment one another too.
Aw.
We have to come to New York City and make a weekend of it.
Yes,
Yes,
absolutely.
definitely. And we may venture up north at some point.
Yeah, up to like you guys are near Portland, I think, right? I remember going to Lake Sebago up there, and my brother going to college at St. Joseph's up that way. And it was fun to like go there and fun to like. It's actually a fun summer thing, like to go to the seafood things on the water, and yeah.
Shadow might be gaming. He had a game last week. So, but we did get out his Reaper's bones. I think I have more in the house. I gotta find them. But he did. Him and his son received them. So we're very happy that because, listen, if you're a gamer, you accumulate a lot of shit, and it's all good shit. And no gamer's gonna say, "Oh, I accumulated bad stuff." And we all have a moment in our life when we got rid of stuff we probably shouldn't have. And my moment in my life.
Oh wow! So there are some declutter regrets.
Yes, here.
Oh,
So
you'll have to have a video on that.
okay, well, I'm going to mention it real quick. When Chris's mother passed, and I thought that I was going to be getting legal custody and have to go through a whole process. And in the end, his grandmother got legal custody because that was Chris's decision because grandma had some issues about where she was in the world. And Chris said she needs papers to show her she's important. You're my father. You don't need paperwork. So he was a smart kid at like 13, 14.
Right, he was wise beyond his years.
But here's the thing. I was in a panic of having to clean, so I threw out things like my chill hardcover, like the AD&D second faux leather tomes of spells and magic items. Whoosh, quick things to throw. I regret that to this day. But
Aw.
yes.
Are you able to
Actually,
like come by those things?
Tom out in another Tom out in St. Louis, a Catholic priest, actually sent me, I believe, the spell books a number of years ago
Okay.
as a gift because he knew what I had done.
Mhm.
Oh, what a horrible. But it was the right thing at the right time.
Mhm.
This Tom, our Tom V. Yeah, James, sometimes the universe is just smiling. You, Tammy and I met online, talked through the night, and met for breakfast. I knew she was it. And that's a beautiful thing.
That is.
I mean, the whole moment when it becomes real. Like I knew I was falling for Rach as we did our courting process of meeting on Match and then going to was it emails first and then it was a Yahoo Instant Messenger and then it was
Yeah.
phone calls
Mhm.
and then it was hey, let's meet out in Lower New York City and go hit a comedy club.
Going run and village.
And the stand-up comedian thought we were married that first day.
Yeah, and then I had to take you. I had to take you over to. And yeah, he was like, "Oh, you must be an accountant." He looked at you and said, "I was like." And he asked me, "So he's an accountant?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm."
Yeah.
I knew not to say. No, he's a cop.
He's a cop. You want to see his gun? No, thank God. Yeah, Tom, either place down here, up there. We'll make. We're happy to make a weekend of it. Get a nice place to hang out for a night. I'm always looking for an excuse to travel. As long as it's local, I can do it. No, Shadow. But again, he missed prior one time because he was gaming, and God bless. You can get a game that's
Yeah, I think he says sometimes he would come in later,
right.
if it's still, if people are still talking, if it's still on, he'll often come in after his game.
Yep. Oh, David didn't. Sorry. Yes, go to sleep, Dave.
Oh,
Try, Rach, you're on. I'm trying to catch up.
oh, I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry. It's just like.
But yeah, it's like I even had to take him through the little ringer of seeing how he would behave in McSorley's.
Oh yeah, McSorley's, where the food is a plate of crackers.
Oh yeah. I did another guy. He was Jewish, right? And so I was like, everything he had to go to everything that was Zagat rated. And he looks on the door. He's like, it's not Zagat rated. I was like, it's okay, man, relax. You're really gonna love their cheese plate. Their cheese plate,
Cracker Barrel cheese.
Yeah, we go in and we sit down, and it's like I was like, okay, so I walk up to the bar. I'm like, yeah, too dark, too light, and I bring them back to the table. He's like, oh my god, she got 4 beers for us to drink, and they're little, they're little,
yeah,
right? And then so, and then we order the cheese plate, and so the cheese plate comes. And I know this already. So it's a sleeve of saltines and the Cracker Barrel,
just cut up.
Yeah,
and when I got listen.
And it's like
I was fine.
Kind of thrown at you. It's like it's like bam, bam on the table.
It's like it's not a fine
you don't
dining.
Really have plans,
It's not a fine dining experience, but trust me, I on duty I've eaten a lot worse places. It was fine. Tammy says that Lake Chebago is like 30 minutes away.
Oh, okay.
But they come down. We can go up. We can meet halfway. I'm trying to catch up here.
But yeah, he did well. It wasn't like he tried to say 1 dark and 1 light, please.
Yeah, no, you can't order, and that's the only beer they have, by the way.
Yes, it's the dark and the light, and you just drink it, and it's good. It's tasty. It's
Yeah, and that's really just that's part of these.
And he was able to be in there and be comfortable, and deal with it like a crowded place like that,
right,
on a Saturday night, and
and keep myself sober enough to to drive you home after that. The fact that you said yes to let you drive you back to the Bronx as opposed to I was like, all right, I guess I didn't come over as any kind of scummy.
Yeah, no.
I don't know who's the oldest here. I'll be 55 this summer, so
I'll be 51.
Oh my God, Rach, you reached AARP age last year, but
I know, but I was already grandfathered in because I was married to you.
You came in the back door because of me. I know. So, actually, the AD&D books are not expensive to get, especially if you go for the. You can get the reprint. Actually, they sell print-on-demand versions of the reprints, I believe, on drive-thru, which aren't as great quality as the original reprints with the gold foil edging, but I have my originals and I have somebody else's that I bought at I guess Craigslist years ago when and I felt bad buying it from him because his wife was newly married and his wife was getting rid of all his gaming stuff because he'll never play again. It was bad.
Oh,
I felt sad. That's why I gave him $50 more than he was asking.
Oh, that guy
yes.
Was
it College Point or something
like that? Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I felt bad. Yeah, I need to get some of the Grim. I have some of the Wizard of the Coast painted stuff, and I if I'm buying in many of these days, I'm going to buy something that's painted and I can display because I'm not going to paint it, so it won't be displayed if I'll get it painted by somebody else. Just the reality of it. My lead figures from the 80s, I had the Grenadier Outdoor Adventurers. with the halfling behind the tree stump with the crossbow, which looks like a block of lead. So it was not a great set. The ranger looked okay, but the rest of that looked like crap.
Mm.
I'm catching up. You all matter. You all count. But I'm just trying to go through it and make sure everybody gets on the screen. BX is nice. Just to go off on tangent. I've been talking with James Spahn. James is working on a micro setting for Continual Light. So as I'm doing Continual Light, rebranding as Continual Light will be coming out hopefully this summer. It might get pushed back because Jeff, my layout guy, is in Ireland for work, and he might be extended for another month. So it might get pushed back. But James is going far beyond what I had expected James would do. And if it's James doing more than you expect, you take what James will do because James does amazing work. So we may have a fairly full-size micro setting and adventures coming from James to support the revised, relaid out continual light rules. Just throwing that out there. So Old School Essentials is a nice version of the rules, I gotta say. All right. Yeah, and you're the oldest. Well, Eric has a younger lady. Way to go, old man. I gotta say, the significant women that I've dated in my life, even before Rach, were all 4.5 years younger than me. I didn't plan it that way. Okay? It's just the way God rolled the dice. Has nothing to do with the fact that my sister is 4.5
Well,
years younger than
yeah, I
me.
was gonna say.
Yeah, you're so.
And then my brother that I was closest to growing up was Eric's age.
So there you go.
Yeah.
You like the Whiz Kids painted Tenkar? The ones I've gotten have been some like random pieces I got on eBay a while back. I haven't gotten any of the recent stuff. I got a lot of oh god. When the click ones, I got like somebody was selling like dupes and commons when they were like that was the new rage, and I think I gave them all to my niece Shannon, which means that they probably are either in her closet or in the garbage at this point, which I don't blame her. She was in the mood for a while to play with that stuff, and now she's not.
Well, she's
Yeah, she's at the
she's
age.
11, and
So she's preteen. So
embracing her tweenness.
You have to, man.
Yeah.
You should have. It's the way to go. Oh, James, you got this full set of Phineas Fingers miniatures. That was a great little comic. Rach has no clue. I will have to show her some of the old strips from Dragon magazine. I have them on PDF, Rach, so we can put them up on the
Dragon
iPad.
magazine are the ones that we put in. There was Knights in the dinner table, and then there were Dragon magazines that were a little bigger.
Yes.
And we put them in boxes and took them to storage.
Yes.
Years ago.
Oh,
that's good. You have it on PDF. It's much more functional.
Yes. Well, I got the PDFs on the 5-disc set when I guess was it Wizards of the Coast right after they bought out TSR. The 5-disc set that got them in trouble with the publishers of Knights at the Dinner Table because they reprinted the strips without getting permission and had to withdraw it from the market. So I've got something that you can still find them online. I'm not going to say where, but you can still find them online. Yajin, you're not that old? Okay. That's like I said.
That's okay.
In my old gaming group, my old high school, college gaming group, I remain the oldest one. We're gonna get together, by the way, next Saturday. So next Saturday, I'll be home by 8. But if I'm not home by 8, I will send out a message probably on Facebook that I'll be running late. But I'm getting together with my old gaming group next Saturday, and it'll be something to talk about. We get together once a year, so fun times.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Yajin, older than Tenkar I am. All right, well, God blesses you, and cheers. Oh my God, Rach, we're almost 90 minutes into tonight.
Oh.
All right, so folks, when the live stream is active, when you guys are not just asking us questions, but conversing amongst yourselves. It makes this so much better for all of us. To the point where I wore my glasses for the last couple of minutes, but I'm taking them off now because I don't know. I tried wearing contacts once in my life in college, and it lasted about, I don't know, 18 hours. I couldn't get them out of my eyes.
Yeah, I don't think mine would
Contacts are
have
not.
ever done contacts.
Yeah, contacts are not for me.
Yeah.
Yes, you can ditch the work. Go back to Yajin or Yajin. I guess it's Yajin. I don't know how the best way to pronounce stuff. I've been mispronouncing stuff my whole life. So if I mispronounce your tag, I gotta ask your forgiveness. But yeah, the Hork thing, the Hork thing can just really be mispronounced or misread if you're not wearing your fucking glasses.
Well, I think more to the misread.
But
Pork is pretty obvious.
Now, oh my God, actually in 3 weeks, Rach and I will be at North Texas RPG Con.
Yeah.
We will do a live stream from the con. It might be a bit more difficult for me to read the chat. So I will probably...
because we'll be using the little
laptop.
Yeah.
Which is a big laptop, but it's still a little screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get spoiled. I really do. So, I don't know, man. I think we covered most of it.
Yeah.
So I want to thank everyone. Honest to God. And if you don't realize this, okay, everyone that's watching live, everyone that watches this cast later, your participation and your feedback, your experience with us makes my journey easier. Okay? If you think that I'm doing this just because it's a favor to you, you're wrong. It's a favor to me that you're all joining us on this.
Yes.
It's a favor to Rach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Just like that journey that we're saying is easier because the two of us are on it. You know, it's so much easier to have the rest of you with us. You know, your support, your questions, your ideas is what really makes this happen.
Exactly.
North Texas will probably have walk-in guests, at least on a daily basis, but they're getting close to selling out all the reserve tickets. You'd have to ask Bad Mike, Michael Battalato on Facebook, or join the NTRPG, North Texas RPG Facebook group. He'd give you a better answer than I can.
Walk-in guests. Does he mean walk-in guests? Meaning like
people can
for
walk
your
up.
show,
My show.
Everybody for your things that you put.
At the convention, at the con.
People who want to participate, usually they have walk-ups that can just
and if you're
go in and look at the boards and see where they fit.
And if you're at North Texas and we're doing a live stream, pretty much, hey, last year our Wednesday night live stream with Bad Mike, everybody jumped in.
Yeah.
I mean, it was fun and out of control.
And the stories I think are the best thing. Like, I think you had Jim Kitchen that night, and like he stayed the longest. You know, he had so many stories of the old situation with the real TSR.
The old TSR?
Old TSR.
The original TSR. How about that?
Yeah, however you call it.
Tammy, we so appreciate you both. Your honesty is just, again, use this word, inspirational. Thank you both for so much. Well, thank you. Because, again, I can't stress this enough. Without you all, we'd be talking to...
We're just talking to each other, you know?
We do that every night.
Yeah.
And every day. But really, it's the feedback that makes this what it is. Eric, where do I send the invoice for my time? You know what? I'm seriously.
Bill Medicare, hon.
Yeah. You can bill the Medicare or the GHI. It depends on which way you want to go.
Yeah. Medicare, the insurer of last resort.
He was asking if Gamers Health will have guests. We may pull people in at time.
Oh yeah, that would be great.
And I would
because
like
there's
to.
some people there that that always go and that do have like been survived some major health stuff and have made serious changes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So no, definitely. And just like we had Tom and Tammy on last week, we do have loosely penciled in. When I say loosely penciled in, I mean I have people that have given me yes, well, I'll be on the show, but we've got no date. And it's the stuff that's probably going to be a little bit out, but inspirational people that have been through a lot. And I in the case of at least one of them, I know somebody's going to be going, at least a couple of people will be going, huh? You're having who? But you know what? We all can find inspiration from what others have gone through, or at least say, oh my God, I didn't understand that's what could be an issue. You find it where you can. And, like I said, cancer is like, in case of cancer, right? It doesn't care whether you're, Catholic, non-denominational, Jewish, Hindu, Muslim, black or white, or Asian. Doesn't care if you're English speaking or not. Doesn't care if you're Republican or conservative or liberal or Democrat. Doesn't care about any of that shit.
Yeah, health doesn't really discriminate.
So this goes beyond any of those definitions, and I think that's important. I really do. Yes, Tammy, you and Tom were the first guest. Although we did have a guest host one time when this was initially a podcast.
And it was
Laramie when we lost our kitty.
Yes.
He stepped in and was a guest host and recorded an episode for us, and that was awesome. And
yes,
and again, that's community.
Yes.
Everybody giving back. Tim Kask is certain somebody goes, oh God, I'm trying to think. Merle Rasmussen, Janelle Jaquez.
Yeah, Janelle. And then Alan
Hammock. Oh my God, Alan is a pisser.
Sometimes
Tom Wham often goes.
Tim Schneider.
There's just so many people. It's a lot of people for the size of the con. It really is. James, thank you for spending your evening with us. It's a Saturday night. Some people have lives and go out on a Saturday night. We'd rather spend it with you all.
Yeah, this is our big outing.
And I get to have wine and snuggle up with my wife. So, folks, cheers. Thank you. Now, like I said, last night when I did a live stream, 3 out of the 5 hosts were positive for COVID. It's still out there. It still exists. All right. I'm not telling you what to do. I hate effing masks. I hate them. I thank God I was retired. I would have gone insane the last 2 years having to wear a mask every day. All right. But you know your risk factors. You know where you live. You know what's going on in your area. And you know how healthy you are.
Yeah, if you don't feel good, stay in your house.
Make decisions accordingly. But we're not your parents.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you what to do. All right. Other than that, be safe, be well. God bless each and every one of you. And I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know, some bag of shit about the gaming community or something else, right? Rachel's like, you haven't been doing bags of shit recently. I need more. Not going to mention his name because it's like Candyman. If I say it, he might get summoned. All right, folks. Thank you much.
Thank you. Take good care.
Later.